All right, guys, we are live, baby. Here we go. It is matchup preview week one, where I'm going to tell you guys who's going to win their matchup, who's going to lose, and give you a bold prediction on each team in the league. So, without further ado, let's jump in to a mid-tier matchup between Jason and the new guy, Jack, where Jason should be ashamed of himself. He's already projected to lose. Jack's got a pretty good run out here. CeeDee Lamb's going to be chasing points all night long. Cowboys are going to be throwing a ton. I'm really not a huge fan of T. Higgins this week. Bold prediction, though, on Jack's side. I got to go CeeDee Lamb. And I got to say, CeeDee Lamb puts up a $120 and a touchdown tonight. Now, over on Jason's side of things, Jason is making a very intelligent play, playing the mighty Bears defense against rookie QB JJ McCarthy. And we don't know if JJ McCarthy can play football or not. We'll see what happens. Jason has Lad McDonkey, should go off on Friday night. I like Baker Mayfield. But my bold prediction here for Jason is that Matthew Golden comes out and is the Packers wide receiver one right away. And that will amount to about 7 or 8 fantasy points because the Packers suck. So it's not going to be a huge performance because they're just so bad. So who's going to win this matchup? I'm going to give the nod to Jason because you got to get the win. You got to show me you can win first, Jack, before I can pick you. I don't know if I can pick you. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like Jack's team better, but I'm going to give Jason the nod here because it's week one and Jack's a newbie. Now, we got the Jer Bear versus Tony Jr. Pretty high projected scoring matchup, which is kind of odd because most of Jared's team is like rapidly hurtling towards the IR, and we're not even at week one yet. You look over Jared benching Dak Prescott tonight. I don't know how you could do that. It's the first night of football. You got your starting QB that you drafted to be your starting QB, and you're benching him. Some people are saying you're getting a little cute. That's just what the streets are saying. I look at the rest of Jared's team. Jerry Jeudy should pop off against the Bengals for similar reasons to what I just gave for CD against the Eagles. Tony Pollard, absolute nightmare of a matchup at Denver. They have him way over projected. Wouldn't be shocking if he didn't hit half of that projection. Nico Collins, though, I don't know. Reese, when you get this, Reese, talk to us about the Rams corners. Can they handle Nico Collins? I don't know. But bold prediction with Jared, I got to go with one of his star players will not make it through week one. That's just the reality. I mean, he's got 3 of them limping into week one. Jefferson's got a bad hammy that the reports are saying he's going to have to deal with all season long. That's disgusting. Achane got a bad calf. Tyreek Hill's got a bad calf and an oblique, and the coach hates him. Very rough start to the year for the Jer Bear here. That being said, he could still score a lot of fantasy points. We'll see what happens. Now, on Tony's side of things, we got Kamara Sutra. And Alvin Kamara, just a tried and true workhorse running back. I don't know why everybody hated on that pick so much. I actually really like Alvin Kamara. Think Kamara has he's in a great spot to smash week one against Arizona. Tony's big problem is he doesn't have a playable RB2. He's starting RJ Harvey, not even knowing if Harvey's even going to see the field. There have not been glowing reports on RJ Harvey heading into week one. I mean, Tony probably should maybe just play Austin Eckler and play it safe, but we'll see. He's kind of pot committed because he reached and took Harvey pretty early. You look at the wide receiver weapons, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Tet McMillan. Those guys are awesome. DK Metcalf is a useless dog turd, and he's going to get shut down. So bold prediction, I'm going to go on Tony's side of things. Tet McMillan comes out on fire right away, 100 yards and a touchdown en route to Tony defeating Jared in week 1. Now, we got Joe versus Kevin in an interesting matchup between father and son here. Now, of course, I'm referring to Big Tennessee being Joe's daddy. Now, we look over here at Kevin's team, and Kevin basically reached on every pick he made in the draft, and we've been over that. But there are some bright spots for Big Kev. I do think that Trey McBride is in fantastic position to smash against the Saints. I think Neighbors has a great matchup with Washington, who is going to wrongfully assume Marshawn Lattimore can cover him. And by the time they figure out that he can't, it'll be too late. Amon-Ra St. Brown against the Packers Swiss cheese defense. He ought to be pretty good. James Cook is going to suck all season long. You heard it here first. Just not actually a great pick at all. Where Kevin took him, I think he's going to suck. So my bold prediction is Friday night in Brazil. Isaiah Pacheco, 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. He gets in the end zone twice. These Brazil games are usually high scoring. Kevin, do yourself a favor and get him out of your flex, though. He plays on Friday. What the hell's the matter with you? It's your first time. Now, you look over at Joe, and Joe drafted, he went a little out of his comfort zone and took some shots this year. Unfortunately, I think it's going to lead to him taking more shots at the draft next year. This was not ideal for Joe. Marvin Harrison, good spot against the Saints. Devontae Smith would not shock me if he had a big game tonight. The Cowboys are just going to get boat raced. I think we all know that. Omarion Hampton, though, really tough matchup against the Chiefs, and he's splitting work with Najee. And word has it, Najee is going to be the goal line back. So Najee, get them vulture memes ready, because I'm going to be ready to hit you with a bunch of them, Joe. I got AI creating new ones on the hour, just ready for all these Najee touchdowns that are going to happen this season. Now, bold prediction-wise, what am I going with Joe? I'm going to go Bo Nix has a rough first game against a better-than-you-think Titans team and scores less than 15 fantasy points against the Titans. Who's going to win? Well, Kevin's going to go 0-15. So Joe's going to get the dub because he gets a week 1 bye against Kevin. Now, we got Reese, Roller Blitz Reese, who is yet to name his team, versus the Patriarch. And the story of Reese's team is really simple. He's going to go how the Rams go. He's got Stafford, Puka, Adams, Kyron. This week, they play one of the toughest defenses in football. Not ideal. Not an ideal run out to start the year. Stafford's also got a bad back. Not ideal. You look over at, I do think Deebo Samuel has a good first game with the Commanders, with Terry McLaurin still kind of rounding into football shape. James Conner should destroy the Saints. Love Tyler Warren. Love the guy, man. I don't know what the hell Reese is doing with the Bucs D, though. I mean, they're on the road in what's projected to be an absolute shootout. That is 100% not a playable defense. I would rather play the Ravens, who have actually just locked up Josh Allen each of the last 2 times they played him, which was both last season. Josh Allen was held to 2 total touchdowns in those 2 games and less than 200 passing yards in each game. The Ravens have Josh Allen's number. I'd feel more comfortable with that than Tampa Bay at Atlanta. So bold prediction. I'm going to go Tyler Warren starts his career hot with 60 yards and a touchdown in his first ever game. So Tyler Warren, bold prediction for Reese. On senior side of things, the Fighting Lamar Jacksons, pretty much a terrible team here, but he drafted Lamar Jackson, so he has a puncher's chance every week. You look at Xavier Worthy, should be in smash consideration for as long as Rashee Rice is out, which might be forever. Ashton Genty, probably going to start off well. Mike Evans, we'll see how long that hammy holds up. It's held together with duct tape and bubble gum. and hairpins right now. So I don't know how long Mike Evans is going to stay out there, but while he's out there, he's going to do very well. So what are we doing for bold prediction here? This is my tight end bold prediction matchup. I'm going to go Tyler Kraft finishes the week as a top 3 fantasy tight end as the Packers look to target him early and often against Detroit. Who's going to win? I'm going to go with Senior just because Reese has some tough matchups with the Rams. The Houston Texans are a very good defense. Now, finally, that leaves me to the most anticlimactic matchup of the week, which is, of course, myself, Chase Brown Swifties versus Extra Elite Steve. As I just went over with you, Josh Allen actually usually gets pummeled by the Ravens. They kind of have his number. I mean, you guys can go look this up from last year. Josh Allen's probably not playable this week. Steve's going to play him anyway. He's going to be very disappointed in the result. A.J. Brown, though, he's kind of like Mike Evans. We'll see how long that hammy holds up. While it holds up, he's going to be awesome. Bijan Robinson should do very well in a shootout with the Bucks. Ken Walker's not going to do shit against the Niners. I think you all know that. And Travion Henderson, we'll see if he gets on the field or not. Bold prediction. The Washington defense scores 3 or less fantasy points against the New York Football Giants. The Giants don't turn the ball over. They have Russell Wilson. It's not Danny Dimes anymore. Russell Wilson doesn't throw picks, man. So they're not going to get turnovers. Russell Wilson doesn't really even take sacks. The guy gets rid of the freaking ball. So I think that the Giants are actually going to beat Washington, and that's my bold call there, is that Washington's D is amongst the worst to play in fantasy this week. Unlike on my side of things, where I have the number 1 defense in football with a great matchup against a rookie starting QB in his first ever game, Denver, they're going to crush the Titans. DeAndre Swift, he's going to crush the Vikings. Kittle's going to smash. Chase Brown's going to smash. Saquon Barkley's going to get me kicked off tonight with a huge mega effort. Emeka Egbuka. Guys, you know you're all scared of Emeka Egbuka. None of you want that Egbuka smoke. DJ Moore, huge outing. For my bold prediction, though, I'm going to go with my man Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. will finish this week as the wide receiver 1 in fantasy as he smashes the Carolina Panthers from the slot. Can you believe they're putting that freak in the slot? That is terrifying. He's going to dominate all you clowns. So there you go. Obviously goes without saying I'm going to beat Steve. You all knew that. I mean, I don't even really have to go over it. Steve has no chance. He has a shitty team, and he's a terrible manager. Doing dumb shit like playing 75-year-old diabetes boy Mark Andrews. But, Steve he gives it a good effort. I like that he's so into it, even though he knows he's going to get his ass kicked. So, it's not fun just beating up on somebody that doesn't care, So it's fun to kick Steve's ass. And I have a feeling I'm going to be having a great time this weekend. So there you go, guys. There's your matchup preview for week 1. I will see you with the recaps on Tuesday unless I lose.